7 more years and 10 more days, and they're gonna turn me loose. Unless our little plan works out, that is.
Yeah, I get you, boss. Yeah, it's a great scheme. Sure, I'll get on to them right away. Yeah, I'll organize it. Now, don't worry. Joe Anna will be out of jail 24 hours from now.
You say, Mr. James, that you want to hire a helicopter?
That's right, Mr. Weston. My job is aerial surveys, making maps, you know. And I want to hire a helicopter to take me around so that I can get some aerial photographs.
Well, that's fine. We can organize that. When do you want to do this work?
Well, let's say tomorrow, just before noon.
Well, I only have a twin-rotor job available, which is far too big and far too expensive for this purpose.
Don't worry about the cost. You arrange for the helicopter, I'll arrange for the money.
All right, Mr. James. I'll arrange for it to be waiting for you tomorrow morning. I'll fly it myself.
Good. Safety straps in position, ready for test.
Roger, Mike. Good luck.
Opening roof door. Roof door's open.
Good, Professor. Are you ready, Mike?
Quite ready.
Right. Then here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition.
Wow, this is really something.
Sure hope this is gonna work, Mitch.
Quick, Professor. Fire the retro rockets.
Right, beaker.
He's gonna be okay, Mitch.
Very good. It's going to work fine.
Yes, Professor. I think so. Mike will now float down to Earth without any parachute at all and make a very gentle landing in the desert.
Help! Dr. Beaker! Professor! Quickly, help! Help!
I don't get it. I'm supposed to get the word from those guys about my escape. I wonder whether the cops have got him. Tie winch cable from helicopter to cell bars. Then hold on. Signed, Red James. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Still, I'd better do as they say. Tomorrow noon. Okay, Red James. I'm waiting for you.
This job is a little more involved than I had at first thought.
Say, are you still at it, Dr. Beaker? Didn't you get any sleep last night?
Hello, Mike. No, as a matter of fact, I didn't. I want to get this new ejector seat installed as soon as possible.
But, Dr. Beaker, supercar is pretty infallible. I don't think we're ever going to need it myself.
Well, perfectly true, Mike. It is unlikely, to say the least, that anything would go wrong with supercar. But nevertheless, I want to complete it.
Okay, Doc, you're the boss.
Don't ask me why, Mike, but every new piece of equipment I ever make always seems to come in useful. And I have a feeling that this one will be no exception.
Oh, Mitch. I told you to wake me up early, but I didn't tell you to tip me out of bed. I just wanted to make sure I was ready before Dr. Beaker tested the ejector seat again.
Delicious. Absolutely delicious. Ham and eggs, Mike. Just the sort of breakfast you need.
You can say that again. Beaker tells me he wants to test the ejector seat again this morning.
That's right, Mike. He reckons that he'll be ready by midday.
Yeah, I'm beginning to feel like one of those guys who's fired out of a cannon at a circus. Oh, well.
Oh, Mr. Weston, Mr. Red James is here to see you. He has an appointment.
Oh, yeah. Send him in, will you?
Surely, Mr. Weston. Oh, Mr. Weston,
Yeah?
shall I call the maintenance shed and tell them to get the helicopter ready?
You do that. Oh, good morning, Mr. James. Come in. Please sit down.
Thank you.
They're just getting the helicopter out. We'll be ready in about 5 minutes. Where do you want to go?
The state pen.
The state pen?
That's what I said.
Do you mind me asking you what you want to go there for?
Not at all. I want to organize a jailbreak.
But you can't do that.
Oh, yes, I can. Now, let's go and get the helicopter.
$11. 1 hour to go, and then I'll be out of this joint for good.
How's it going, Doc?
Oh, satisfactory. Most satisfactory.
When do you think you'll be ready, Dr. Beaker, for the second test?
Shortly after midday, I should think, Jimmy.
Only a couple of hours, Mike, and you'll be off on your second test.
Yes, Jimmy? I sure hope Beaker knows what he's doing. This wiring diagram's so involved, I don't know how anyone can understand it.
What does it feel like, Mike, being shot out of supercar at such a terrific speed?
Well, it's an experience you can well do without, Jimmy. But I suppose it's not too bad.
Hope you make a better landing next time, Mike.
Yeah, so do I.
Mitch! Mitch! Stop it! Mitch, stop it! Mitch, stop it, will you?
You'll never get away with this, James.
You want to bet? How much further?
Just about a mile to go. You can see it straight ahead of us.
Okay, Mr. Weston. I want you to hover over the pen as we discussed. I'll be at the back letting down the winch, but remember, one false move, and I'll blow your brains out.
Yeah, that's them. That's them, all right. Right on time. Now, what did the note say? Tie the steel cable to the bars of the cell window, and then hold on to the cell window. Okay, Red James. Anything you say. Now, all I gotta do is tie the cable around the bars and then hold on tight.
Okay, Bud. Give it the gun. Okay, Weston. Wind him up. Right, Doc. We'll just make a routine cockpit check. Then I'm ready to go.
We'll start by checking the power supply, Mike.
Roger, Dr. Beaker. Checking power supplies. Hey, Weston. What's that building down there?
Oh, that's the famous supercar laboratory.
The supercar laboratory, eh? Well, our luck's in, isn't it? Now, you just drop this bird down in the desert. Not too close. I don't want that they should hear the engines.
Anything you say.
Hey, Joe, your luck's in. I'm going to arrange for Mike Mercury in person to fly you in supercar to Mexico. They'll be looking for this helicopter, but they won't suspect supercar.
Well, that's mighty nice of you, Red. Mighty nice of you. Do you think you'll cooperate?
He'll cooperate, all right. Check complete, Dr. Beaker.
Roger, Mike. Making final preparations for the test now.
How long will it be now, Dr. Beaker, before you fire Mike out of the cockpit?
Oh, not long, Jimmy. But Mike will be firing himself this time. And I've put a switch in the cockpit to enable him to do so.
Let's hope he doesn't before the roof doors are open, Dr. Beaker.
Oh, that is impossible, Professor. I have so arranged the wiring that the ejector seat cannot be fired unless the roof doors are open.
Okay, Professor. Safety straps fitted.
Good, Mike. All right, Dr. Beaker. All yours.
Thank you, Professor. Opening roof doors. Here we go, Mike. Stand by for countdown.
Standing by.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. What on earth has happened?
Hey, what goes on? I'll tell you. We got in here while you were all busy testing whatever it is you're testing. Now, don't move, any of you.
Keep still, Jimmy. They're armed.
What is it that you, gentlemen want?
I want to hitch a ride, that's all. And I've decided that I'm gonna travel in style. I want you, Mike Mercury, to take me to Mexico in supercar.
Over my dead body.
If you don't take me, that's just how it'll be, Mike Mercury. Okay, Mike Mercury. Start the engines.
Sure. Charging starboard. 5,000. 7,000. Okay. Now, no funny stuff. Otherwise, the boy's gonna get it. You understand?
I understand.
All right, Mr. James. You win. There won't be any funny business, I can assure you.
15,000.
Allow me, Mike Mercury. After all, I think I can now claim to be a member of the Supercar Club. Fire one.
Roger, Mike. Fire one.
Charging port. 5,000. 7,000. You're doing just great, Professor. Just great. If you want to keep the boy alive, you just keep it that way. 13,000, 15,000, fire port! Okay, we're ready for takeoff. But just before we go, let me tell you something. You're not gonna get away with this.
Listen, Mike Mercury. You're a pretty smart guy. Well, let me tell you something. Weston's tied up in his helicopter out there in the desert. I got a gun pointing straight at your head. Red James is covering the kid. None of you dare do nothing but what we say. We'll get away with it. Now get going.
The roof doors are open, Mike. So you can go when you like.
The code name we will use for this flight will be Eject, Mike.
I thought I told you not to try any funny stuff, Dr. Beaker. What do you mean by eject?
Oh, nothing, Mr. James. We always use a code name for every flight, for air traffic regulations, you understand.
You'd better be right, Dr. Beaker. You'd better be right.
Do you understand? Eject.
I get you, Doc. Eject. Here we go. Full boost vertical. Height 2,000 feet. Changing to horizontal flight, over.
Roger, Mike. Over.
Okay, Mike Mercury. Set course for Mexico.
Sure. Turning on to 180 magnetic. It's getting kind of hot in here. Do you mind if I open the canopy?
Are you kidding? I could do with some fresh air. After living in a cell for a year.
Ah, that's better. Now we can breathe. Say, what's going on up there?
Oh, nothing. They have just set course for Mexico, and they have opened the canopy of Supercar to get a little fresh air. Nothing wrong with that, is there?
Nothing at all, Dr. Beaker. Let's hope it stays that way.
Hey, we're coming over to Supercar Workshop again. What gives?
I was hoping you'd ask me that because I'm going to show you. Now just watch this. I'm going to throw this switch.
Help! Hey! Help! Can you hear me down there? This is Joanna. Help! Can you hear me?
Hello, Joe. We can hear you. What is the trouble?
There's been an explosion in the car. Mike Mercury's blown clean out of the roof. I'm on my own up here. You gotta help me.
What's happened?
I only wish I knew, my dear chap. It is obvious that there is something very wrong.
Well, don't just sit there. Without a pilot, Supercar will crash, won't it?
Oh, Professor, you had better take Supercar on remote control.
All right, I have Supercar under control from here.
You mean you can fly that thing from here?
Yes, Mr. James, we can.
Well, that's just great, isn't it? Bring Supercar back and land it in the workshop. We'll have to start all over again, won't we? Oh, no. Not again.
Goodbye, Mitch.
Quick, Jimmy. Get his gun.
And I will bring Supercar into land.
One moment, Professor, one moment. Beaker calling Supercar. Beaker calling Supercar. Joe, Anna, can you hear me? Joe, Anna, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Dr. Beaker. What do you want me to do? I'll do anything, but please, Just get me down.
Supercar is hovering directly over the workshop. Throw your gun over the side so that it lands in the workshop itself. When you have done this, we will bring you into land. If you don't, we will tip Supercar upside down and throw you out.
Okay, Doc. Hey, don't tip Supercar upside down. I'll throw my gun out. Yeah, I can see the workshop directly below me. Here it comes.
All right, Joe. We are waiting. Ah. All right, Professor. You can bring him down now.
Looks as if he's gonna be out for some time, Dr. Beaker. But I'm watching him.
Say, what's happened to Red James? I thought he was supposed to be looking after things.
I think he underestimated the intelligence of monkeys.
Yeah, and I ain't so dumb as I look. I got another gun. I always carry a spare.
Well, now who's a fool?
Guess I'll have to finish my journey by helicopter after all. But first, I got a little job to do. I'm gonna have to eliminate all of yous. Now stand up, 'cause I don't want to miss. Now, who's first? I think the ape, because he caused all the trouble.
Please, Mr. James. He was only doing what he thought was right.
Ah, shut up. Oh!
Okay, Joe. The game's up.
You? How did you get in here?
I came in while you were busy doing whatever it was you were gonna do. Okay, Professor, you'd better phone the police.
I don't know how to thank you enough, Mike Mercury.
Oh, don't thank me. Thank the doc here. It was his invention that saved you.
Well, Mike, didn't I tell you all my inventions come in useful?
Yep, I guess you're right, Doc.
Well, I've phoned the police, and they'll be here very shortly.
Oh, good, Professor, good. Our friends look none too comfortable at the moment.
Now, Mitch. Mitch? Mitchy boy, be careful now.
Gee, Dr. Beaker, I'm glad to see Mr. James scared like that. But I sure hope the Mitch doesn't pull that trigger.
Oh, don't worry, Jimmy. I was careful to remove all the bullets before I gave Mitch the gun. Yes, interesting. Most interesting, you know. It always follows that people who throw their weight about are usually terrible cowards.
Now, boy, I don't want to harm you.
Now, don't point that gun towards me. Point it in some other direction.
What do you mean, point it in another direction? What about me?
No, Mitch. No, not to me.
Over there, boy.
To him, Mitch.
No, not here.
Over there. Over there, please.
Supercar, with beauty and grace, fast as can be, watch it flying through the air. It travels in space or under the sea, and it can journey anywhere. Supercar, it travels on land or roams the skies, through the heavens' mighty range. It's glad to be manned, and everyone cries, it's the marvel of the age. Supercar, supercar.